Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. You know, it's crazy, right? Like how gaming went from those blocky spaceships to athletes standing on Olympic podiums.
It is pretty wild.
Yeah. So today we're going to explore this crazy journey. How gaming evolved from just being, you know, entertainment to these super sophisticated simulators used everywhere, like medicine,
Oh, yeah.
the military, even training for real life sports.
Absolutely.
It's a wild ride, and we're gonna try to cover all of it.
Yeah, and what's so fascinating to me is like how gaming has become this like powerful tool
Right.
with all these real-world applications culminating in, esports being recognized in the Olympic Esports Games.
It's huge, right?
Yeah.
To really understand this journey, though, we got to rewind
Yeah.
way back to like the very beginning. We're talking like Space War, 1962,
Oh, wow.
and even earlier, Tennis for Two in 1958.
Yeah.
Now, those games, they seem super basic compared to what we have today,
Right.
but they were revolutionary for their time.
Oh, absolutely.
They were like the seeds of everything that came after.
Yeah, visually they were basic, but those games introduced this groundbreaking concept of interacting with a virtual world in real time.
It's huge.
It was huge. They essentially like birthed the concept of a simulator.
Right. And that brings us to a pivotal moment, the rise of flight simulators in the 1960s.
Ooh.
Like, this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
We're talking about companies like General Electric
Wow.
and the U.S. military.
Yeah.
They're developing these incredible machines, not for entertainment,
Right.
to train pilots in a safe, controlled environment.
Makes sense. Yeah,
High stakes.
exactly.
Yeah.
So these early flight simulators,
Yeah.
they were meticulously designed to mimic real cockpits,
Yeah.
like paving the way for simulators to be seen as legitimate training tools.
Totally. I mean, their impact on how we perceive simulators today
Yeah.
is huge.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
They essentially like bridge the gap between gaming and professional training.
And speaking of bridging that gap, do you remember Microsoft Flight Simulator
Oh yeah, of course.
from the 80s?
Yeah,
That was a game changer.
it was.
That level of detail and realism.
Yeah.
It wasn't just for aspiring pilots anymore.
Right.
Even like regular gaming enthusiasts. We were hooked.
Oh yeah, it was so cool. And Microsoft Flight Simulator, it was crucial in bringing simulator technology to like a wider audience.
Right.
It democratized the experience,
Wait.
made it accessible to anyone with a computer.
Yeah.
And that was key to like the widespread acceptance and integration of simulators that we see today.
Yeah, and simulators weren't content with just, staying in the world of entertainment and aviation.
Yeah.
They started branching out,
Okay.
proving their worth in all sorts of fields. Like, we saw medical simulators emerge,
Oh, right.
allowing surgeons to practice complex procedures on virtual patients before ever stepping into an operating room.
Yeah. That's amazing.
It's incredible, right?
Totally. And car manufacturers, they started using driving simulators
Oh, yeah.
to test new designs and vehicle dynamics
Makes sense.
without the need for expensive physical prototypes.
Yeah.
Like imagine the cost savings and like the ability to push boundaries without those real-world limitations.
It's mind-blowing
Yeah, it is.
how quickly simulators went from, like,
Right.
niche tools to these essential components in such diverse fields. And speaking of pushing boundaries, how did simulators impact the world of racing?
So, racing simulators like Gran Turismo and Forza Motorsport,
Yeah.
while totally embraced by gamers,
Right.
they offered something more.
Okay.
What set them apart was their ability to provide incredibly realistic driving experiences.
Oh, wow.
And that attracted the attention of not just gamers,
Okay.
but driving schools, aspiring racers,
Wow.
and even professional racing teams.
No, but these games weren't just about fun.
Okay.
They were powerful analytical tools as well.
Yeah.
Did that lead to them being adopted in like professional settings?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Driving schools started incorporating these simulators, into their curriculum
Oh, wow.
to teach basic driving skills and road safety.
Interesting.
Aspiring racers use them to hone their skills and like learn different racing techniques, and professional teams use them
Yeah.
to analyze driving data
Yeah.
and test out, various car setups.
Oh,
It was a game changer for the motorsports world.
Yeah, it's like the perfect example
Right.
of how the lines between gaming and real-world application just got blurrier and blurrier.
Totally.
And speaking of blurred lines,
Yeah.
this leads us to the rise of esports.
Okay.
What was it about competitive gaming that captured the world's attention?
Esports like transcended the traditional image of
Yeah.
gaming as just like a casual hobby.
Right.
It became this like global phenomenon with pro players and teams approaching it
Right.
with the same level of like dedication and intensity
Wow.
as athletes in traditional sports.
We're talking about games like League of Legends,
Yes.
Dota 2, Fortnite, right?
Uh-huh.
What makes those games so demanding at a professional level?
These aren't just games.
Right.
They're like these complex dynamic systems
Yeah.
that demand like lightning fast reflexes,
Yeah.
strategic thinking,
Mm.
seamless teamwork,
Yeah.
and incredible endurance.
Oh.
Like the mental and physical demands placed on esports athletes,
Yeah.
they're strikingly similar to those in traditional sports.
So it's not just about hand-eye coordination.
Right.
We're talking about like mental stamina,
Totally.
strategic planning,
Absolutely.
the whole package.
Yeah.
It sounds like the training regimen for esports athletes must be pretty intense.
It's intense.
Yeah.
Esports athletes are utilizing techniques like biofeedback and mindfulness training,
Oh, wow.
techniques that were, traditionally used by like elite athletes
Mm-hmm.
to manage stress and enhance focus.
During competitions.
Yeah, their training regimens involve countless hours of practice analyzing gameplay
Right.
and working with coaches to refine their strategies.
That's serious.
It's like a full-time commitment.
Yeah.
Requires dedication, discipline, a strong mental game.
And that dedication was finally recognized on a global stage
No.
when esports was included in the Olympic Esports Games
Yeah.
in early 2025.
It was huge.
It was groundbreaking, right?
Yeah.
It really signified a shift
Mm-hmm.
in how society views competitive gaming.
The inclusion of esports in the Olympics was like this powerful statement.
Totally.
It legitimized gaming as like a true sport worthy of the same recognition and respect as traditional athletic disciplines.
It challenged that outdated perception
Yes.
of gamers as simply casual hobbyists,
Totally.
showcasing their dedication, their skill,
Right.
and the intense demands of their chosen sport.
It's amazing.
It feels like we've come full circle
Yeah.
from those early pixelated games.
Yeah.
That introduced us to the concept of virtual interaction,
Uh-huh.
to the rise of simulators
Mhm.
as training tools,
Mm-hmm.
and finally the recognition of esports
Yeah.
on the Olympic stage.
On the world stage, who knows what possibilities are out there?
Right, we've journeyed from like the birth of those first simulators
Yeah.
to the rise of esports
Mm-hmm.
and the integration of this technology into
Yeah.
every single aspect of our lives.
It's crazy to think about.
It really is, and it's clear that this is just the beginning. The possibilities are endless.
They are.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning,
Yes.
and keep pushing those boundaries.